Good evening, everyone. It is time for me to enter your brain. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Edgar, and you're watching Historical Conspiracies. Tonight, we have a very special treat for you. It is story time. The story for this evening was submitted anonymously and written by E.A. In 1996. Alright, so you know the drill by now. Prepare your brain to be taken into some weird places and possibly have a warm beverage to drink. Chapter 1. It is November 1954. The mountains are nice and snug in a blanket of fog. The sun is just about to cover the land with its warmth, while two boys and their father try to keep the warmth they have until it does. They are spread out in a staggered formation and are fully geared hunters. The father, old Jack, is resting his body on a fallen tree. His dark flannel and slacks hide his presence from the animals, assuming he moves very little. Clutched in his hand is a hunting rifle. The boys, Red and Charlie, are huddled together in a nook of undergrowth. They too hold weapons. Red is 14 years of age, and his brother Charlie is 12. They came here only a few times before, but now are armed with their father, ready to take their young prize. Their obsession with the forest is deterred when they suddenly spot a deer. The creature is in search of water and is going to get more than it bargains for. The father signals for the boys to hold off. This one is his. He takes his aim and hesitates only a moment before the loud crack is heard. A direct and swift shot to the deer's neck brings the young animal down, but at the same time affects the marksman. Old Jack grabs his heart and stands, only to fall to his knees again. The animal staggers and falls to its knees as well. The boys run to their father's side to assist him, but it is useless. He lies almost motionless, as his victim also lies. Two souls escape into the Ashwell Mountain fog this morning, before the sun has a chance to peek its head out. The boys, helpless, hold their father and rest by his side. Chapter 2. November 1974. 10 years have passed, and the young boys have become men. They took their father's death hard, but time is a healer, and they grew up to be fairly normal men. We find them drinking steadily in a small hick bar on a dirt road. "Yes, sir, Red," Charlie yells drunkenly. "We're gonna go up in them mountains like we do every year and bring us back some buck." Charlie is full of energy, tainted by liquor and bragging away. His brother, Red, is not so enthusiastic, or at least doesn't show it. "Last year, how many did we get?" Charlie taps his brother lightly. Red didn't reply fast enough, so Charlie took the liberty to remember himself. "8. He pauses, proudly, and looks around. "Just like last year." "Charlie, why don't you sit back down and enjoy your drink?" a rather stocky local man commands. This would be Travis. He grew up around the brothers. Turned out to be cocky and arrogant. He sits among his two friends, Earl and Joseph, all of whom are slightly older than the brothers. "You guys think you can bring back more deer than we do?" Charlie challenges. "Charlie." Red attempts to restrain his brother. Travis pauses and looks at his friends, nibbling on a match. "Yeah, I think we can." "Then come up with us. I'll bet none of you lame asses can keep up, can even come close to how many we get this year. This is a good year." "How about $500? "Charlie." Red makes a final attempt. "Deal," Charlie responds. "Ugh." Red grumbles and turns back to face his drink. Chapter 3. At the crack of dawn, the crew meet at a dead end and move up to the wilderness. The group gets along more peacefully than one would expect. They wait all day for a creature of the mountains to peek out from its hiding place, to get a crack at the first one. No luck, however. "Maybe we killed them all," Charlie laughs. "Don't be silly," Red speaks. The two are huddled closely behind a small hill or pile of trees. One couldn't tell. "It's not funny. The point isn't just to take a life." "Yes, it is." Charlie seems angry. "Deer killed my pop, so now I killed them." "He was my pop too," Red protests. "Shh." Charlie notices something. The brothers inspect the trees for signs of movement. Suddenly a creature emerges. It is a buck. Charlie aims and prepares to fire. As the trigger is slowly pulled, there is a sudden surprise. Not only was one shot heard, it would appear that the three competitors all fired simultaneously with him. The old animal is no stranger to this sound, but the shower of slugs gave no warning. An excruciating death on the animal's part. There was blood spurting, and to top it off, it wasn't dead. A shot to the head from Travis fixed that. Chapter 4. As night fell, they finished arguing about who actually killed the beast. Red, of course, couldn't have cared less. Charlie insisted at the end that it didn't matter because they were going to kick ass anyway. They set up two tents. One housed the brothers, one housed the three others. Inside one tent is Travis, Earl, and Joe. "Isn't this a trip?" Travis says to the others. "I think we're wasting our time." Earl dictates and swigs a beer. "Well, who cares what you think? We're gonna fix these guys good." "Give me another sandwich. I'm damn hungry." Travis reaches to Joe, who sits near the cooler. "I have to relieve myself," Earl says to Travis and Joe. Earl opens their tent with a zip and disappears into the night. "What a day, bro," Charlie says to his brother. Charlie and Red set their tent about 15 yards from their pals. The brothers sit outside, and Charlie smokes a cigarette. Both have a beer. "You could say that," Red reluctantly agrees. "They really did kill our pop, Red." Charlie brings up the past with his drunken judgment. Red shakes his head in disagreement. "You don't think so? They are evil creatures. They lead us to believe that they are just the hunted. But what about Jed?" "Jed had an unfortunate accident." "No, they decided that his murdering their kind was caused to sacrifice one of their own to total his car. Don't be ridiculous. Deer don't think like that, they're just deer. A sudden grunt from the dark wilderness stops the brothers in their conversation. They look around for signs of movement in the silence. Don't fuck with us, you jerks. We know you are there. Charlie speaks to the darkness. Charlie gets up and Red remains sitting. As Charlie approaches the origin of the sound, he sees mist in the shape of breath, but not the nose that breathes it. Suddenly, stomping is heard as the watcher moves away. One of them punk asses, Charlie says, and returns to his seat. I don't know. It sounded like an animal to me. That's what they want us to think. Don't sweat it, dude. Can you hand me another brew? Chapter 5. Where the hell is that fucker? Travis questions Joe, as if he could possibly know where Earl has been for the last hour. Whizzin', Joe replies. Don't be an asshole. Travis scolds with a smack. Well, how the hell should I know? Well, go find him. Joe grunts angrily and gets up, taking his beer with him. Stepping out into the void of the wild brings a chill in the upper mountain atmosphere. Joe marches behind the tent he emerged from, following the direction he remembered Earl had gone. Joe stumbles slightly drunken through the thick trees with only moonlight to watch his step. When the forest got denser, the moonlight got less. The wind was blowing a little harder now, and the beer in his hand began to freeze his fingers. He downed the brew so that he might discard it and put his hand in his pocket. The forest near him cracks branches. Joe stops in his tracks. He looks around silently. Earl, you fucknut, stop fucking around. I'm tired of searching for your lame ass, Joe argues with the darkness. No reply came from the cold evening air. Joe continued to walk, slower, now observing as best he could with his slurred vision. Suddenly, a deep-throated grunt shocks Joe into a stupor of fear. He stumbles away now, trying to navigate himself to safety, but fails as he falls over something on the ground. Turning around, he realizes what he fell over. Earl's face, torn to shreds and separated from the rest of his body. His torso is not too far away, ripped from the insides out by some unknown weapon. Joe. The forest wind begins to call. Joe. Joe stands up now, holding back his scream, and though he thinks he is running in the right direction, it doesn't matter anyway. An unseen force slams into Joe with a loud thud and throws his helpless body an easy 15 feet, smashing his soul into a great elm tree. The pressure of this blow pushed a scream from his lungs and blood from every orifice in his body. Nice. Wow. This is a really great story, guys. I can't wait to see what happens next. But we have to take a quick break so I can discuss with you one of our really cool sponsors. Alright, check this out. This is bizbinable.com. Now, this website is mainly for sharing. It's for social gathering. You can make an account on here for free. You can share anything from any platform. It's got a bunch of tools to help you do it easily. It's, for example, sharing videos or Facebook posts or whatever you got. And it has a really neat navigation system that uses emojis as the navigation. So you can, if you want to laugh, you can click on the laughing emoji. If you want to find things to, that are nerdy, you can click on the geeky emoji. But anyway, they have a lot going on right now. They even have a neat little built-in currency system where the members can list products and services and exchange with each other using coins that they earn on the site. But if you're looking for anything funny, anything interesting, any news topics, or maybe learn about how the brain works, this has something for everyone. So check them out, bizbinable.com. Alright guys, I'm back, and I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to the rest of the story. So let's get on to the next chapter. Chapter 6. Although they are in different locations, the three remaining hunters hear the scream. Despite how brief or quiet, they all heard it. What the hell was that? Red jumps up in front of a small fire they manufactured. Creatures of the night, bro, Charlie assures him. A crunching of branches in a hurry moves towards the tent. Charlie picks up his rifle, ready to release his load into some mountain lion's face. His chance deferred, however, for it is only Travis. Hey Travis, what are you guys doing over there? Charlie asks. Nothing, Travis panics. Earl and Joe are gone. I don't know where they went. They're probably playing a trick on your ass, Charlie speaks again. No. The brothers keep Travis company in his childish state, cowering for a while. Eventually they convinced him to return to his tent and see if the other two have returned. He treads through the moonlight to his campsite, where he left a small fire burning. Earl. Joe? Travis hopes the brothers were correct. No response, however, makes Travis return to his fear. Travis. The wind calls his name. Travis. Still frightened from his macho state to a childlike state, he moves to find the caller of his name. He moves slow, due to petrification, and the forest gets darker. From behind him, he hears a deep-throated growl. This was enough to make him move a little faster. He stops in a small clearing to assess his situation. He looks around and hears that voice again. Travis. Leave me alone, Travis yells. From the silence, he hears a sound, like thunder, yet more localized. He tries to locate its source, but the sound comes from every direction. Travis turns around in a circle, still in a panic. Small trees crash down all around him, and he knows he is surrounded. A progressive growl, starting quiet and increasing in volume, fills the forest, prompting Charlie and Red back at the tent to stand and worry. In from all sides, at an untamed speed, come beasts of the mountain. Dark fur, mammoth-sized bodies, and black sooted hooves. Devilish horns pointing to the pinnacle of the skies above. The largest deer, probably in all of creation, stamp the life out of Travis. Screams are cut off by the sound of vomit, yet somehow you know that it is not vomit that is coming from his mouth. A few more attackers come in from behind now and dance on the blood-splattered corpse for sport. Chapter 7. Jesus Christ! Charlie freaks out. What the fuck was that? At this, Charlie gets up and fires blindly into the woods. He revolves his position so as not to miss any single direction with a bullet, barely missing Red. "You crazy bastard, you nearly killed me," Red scolds his little brother. "It's them! It's them!" Charlie is clearly disturbed and delusional. "It's the kind." With a grunt and a whoosh sound, the dilapidated body of Travis emerges from the void of trees and lands on the fire. An explosion of embers causes Red and Charlie to shun their eyes. As their eyes readjust, it is darker, but they can still see. Charlie is right. It is the deer. It is the kind. They make a cloud of fog with the hell in their breaths against the cool midnight air. The largest is in the center of the mob, with anger riding his soul. "You killed my pa!" Charlie runs towards them, shortening the distance between them. An immediate reaction brings the largest running at Charlie. Charlie aims and shoots, striking the animal. This was, however, no help in preventing his inevitable fate. The animal lowers its head and plunges his crown through the boy like a medieval joust. He lifts the body in the air like a trophy and prances for his mates to see. A very loud crack from Red enlodges lead in the creature's brain. It flips over with a yell and lands on his back. His fellow monsters move to his side to investigate. Another crack of Red's weapon, and one of the mourners performs the same routine as his friend. The reason for them not killing him yet is unknown, but this gives him the opportunity to escape. Red runs down the hills, swerving around trees and ducking under branches, his pursuers not far behind. They get closer every second. This is their land. There are at least 12 of them. Red thinks they are angered by their killings each year, seeking revenge. This, of course, defies the laws of nature, though. It seems 4 legs provide swifter running. They surround him, and he stops. Alone and defenseless except for a few bullets, Red closes his eyes after deciding his bullets would only detain the ending. A thick breath covers his face. He hesitates, but is insistent on opening his eyes. There he was, the creature he had put down. As he looks at this face, he realizes it is familiar. The brown and old skin sinks, yet the features are of a man he once knew. The father, whom he had lost in these mountains, had never really left. But love is no longer in his eyes. Red, the wind speaks. Be one with the kind, it implores. Red looks, but remains quiet, petrified with what he sees. "No!" he finally yells, but stops soon after. Ended. Wow. Alright guys, that was a really creepy story. So maybe next time you guys think about going wandering off in the woods at night, you'll remember these guys here. Well, I hope you enjoyed story time tonight, and we'll definitely be doing more story time in the upcoming weeks. If you have any stories you would like read on Mystcon, please submit them. Contact us. Now we're still a growing channel, so please click the likes and subscribes and the bells because it really helps encourage us to make more, and it also grows support for the channel. And be sure to check out bizbinable.com. I highly recommend it. It's addicting, and we are going to be using it for polls and lists and other topics for the Historical Conspiracies channel. So I'll see you over there, and be sure to follow us on there as well. Alright, on that note, my name is Edgar, and you're watching Historical Conspiracies. Have a creepy day.